Hey guys, Nikki here, and today I'm going to show you a Crunchless ab workout, so stay tuned. All right, so getting right into it, what you're going to want for this sequence is a yoga block or even like a phone book will work, but just something that's solid and brick-like. And then optional would be a long resistance band. Really, any resistance is probably fine as long as the band is fairly long. So getting right into it, you're going to start by coming onto hands and knees. And you're just going to set your knees up underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders, spine long. And we're just going to start with a quick little spinal warm-up before we get into the abdominals. So a little bit of cat-cow. You're going to take an easy breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to gently round your tail under you. Feel your low spine articulate. And then feel how that movement works its way all the way up through your upper back until your head naturally falls and follows. And then when you're ready, you're going to go into an inhale. Send your tail feathers long and think about reaching your breastbone forward. Head will come up last. And again, gently curling your tail under. Feel how when you do that, the mid and then upper back and head follows. So I'm trying to go sequentially. I'm trying not to just go immediately into my upper back while skipping my low back, which is a little bit stiff on most of us. And we go the other way. Reach your tail feathers long. And rather than about arching the low back, think about bringing your breastbone forward. Good. We'll go two more. Tail curls under, rounding gently through the spine. So it's always nice to, and then go into extension the other way, warm up the spine before we do abdominal work, because if your spine is really stiff, it's actually kind of hard to find your abs without overly tensing your lower back. One more time, curling, and then lengthening, and then coming somewhere to the middle. All right, from here, grab your block. Pop it underneath one knee, and then come back onto hands and knees here. So this will probably not look like your traditional ab exercise. However, I assure you it is using your abdominals because you have to lift up through them to stabilize your spine and square off your hips and shoulders. So it's actually a ton of ab work without ever having to crunch. Which is a little more functional because you actually need this in gait every time you walk or run or lunge for that matter. So when you're ready, you're just going to think about pushing into your hands and your knee that's on the block, and you're going to actually hover the free leg that was on the mat off, doing your best to square off your hips and not hiking your hip and side bending one way or the other way. So you're trying to stay really, really square and then coming back down, touch the knee and foot. And again, you're going to lift it up. And you could anchor your toes here if you like, or keep the toes untucked, which is a little trickier, up to you. And then tapping down. And two more times. Lifting up, trying to keep your hips square. I almost shake a little bit when I get it right. Coming down. And one more time, lifting up. Now, if that was enough work for you, cool, you can stay with that level. But if you're feeling good, I want you to now play with staying stable through your spine and then reaching the leg out long. And then floating it in. And then reaching the leg out long. And then floating it in. And reaching it out long. And floating it in. Let's go two more. Reaching it out long. Use that exhale. Bring it in. One more time. Reach it out long. Now stay here. And I want you to do circles. And this is quite tricky because you're going to feel how your hips want to move around and you're not going to let them. Good. And then go the other way. Gazes at your fingertips. You might even feel your glutes kick on that stabilizing leg as well. Hold it up, bring it on down. Nice work. Let's switch sides. So if you're like me, you're going to be a little lopsided in that one side is going to be easy and one whole side is going to feel really tricky. So just notice which side that is. So again, do your best to square off. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And then just check that your head's not hanging down or it's not looking way up in the air. So again, gaze past your fingertips barely is a good place to start. And then when you're ready to push down through your stabilizing leg, that's the one on the blocks, and your hands, and lift that other leg up and then tap it down. Now on this side, I'm now stabilizing on my right side, which is my less stable hip or less strong hip. And what I feel is my right side kind of wants to side bend over. So I'm almost reaching length through my right waist to lift my left leg up. Good. You might even notice I'm probably a little more twisty on this side is my guess. And then take it up and hold. And then slowly send that leg out behind you and then bring it in. Sending it out. You can inhale to reach. Exhale to pull in if you want a breath pattern. Otherwise, breathing in and out works great. Good. Let's go 2 more. I'm really pushing down through my contact points, hands and feet that are on the ground. Send it out. Hold now. Do your best to square off your hips. So just notice if you're falling way over to the side that's on the block. Try to square off and do small leg circles. And then pause and then go the other way. Again, don't be surprised if one side has to work a whole lot harder to do that action. Good. Hold it up. Let it rest all the way down. All right, and then if you have the band, let's grab it now. So if you're not using the band, you can ignore this part. But if you have the band, I just want you to take it and kind of wrap it over the top of your foot and then just gently pull it around to the underside. So you've got your foot hooked. And then from here, kind of roll to your side and come onto your back. And so I'm going to show you this exercise in its fullest form. And if you're like, nope, this is not my move, cool, hang tight. I'm going to show you some options or variations in just a moment. But if you're coming along with me and this feels okay, you're going to start by reaching the leg that has the band up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to bring the second leg up to meet it. And you can point or flex your toes. I don't really care. I think I'm going to flex my feet today, though. And then from here, the band leg is actually the anchored leg. You're going to start by gently pressing your low back towards the mat so your pubic bone rolls a little bit towards your ribs. And then keeping your core on, you're just going to slowly lower the free leg towards the ground, only going as far as you can without, I'm going to do it ugly, lifting your ribs and low back off. And then you're going to pull really slow back up. So that is option A. Now, if you have the hamstring length and the core strength to do it, option B is to actually untuck your butt. So you have a teeny tiny low back curve. You're no longer imprinting your low back into the mat. You're actually neutral in your pelvis. This is hard. And you're going to do the same exercise. And what you'll discover is you probably can't go as far before your ribs again want to lift off. So this would be me losing it. You're going to think ribs down, ribs down, ribs down, and then pull it back up. So if you feel good with that, awesome. Keep those going, lowering down with control and pulling it up. If this is not working for you, you have the option of the leg that has the band could rest on the ground, hands on your hips. You could slowly lower the leg down and then take it back up. Again, trying not to curl your pelvis under. So if you're doing the modified version with the foot down, I would do a neutral pelvis, aka your hips are level. Pubic bone and hips in the same line, tiny low back curve present. And if that's still not working for you, final move you can do is just simply a toe tap on one side, holding the other leg still. So this would be helpful if you have really tight hamstrings. And again, you're seeing if you can move that leg without lifting your ribs off. So maybe go one more of any variation that you're choosing, and then we're going to do that on the other side. So if you need to, you can always roll to your side to come to seated, wrap the band around your foot over the top and then underneath. And then when you're ready, you can roll to your side to come on down. So both legs are going to go up towards the ceiling. Let's go flexed feet for today, or pointed if you feel like it. Imprinted spine, so you can think pubic bone to ribs, low back in the mat, or if you feel frisky and want a little challenge, neutral, as long as that feels okay in your low back. And then you're going to keep the band side anchored and slowly lower your free leg down. Use that exhale as you need it to find your core. And then bring it up, 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 up. Nice. And again, slowly lowering down. So on this side, I feel myself trying to shove my head into the ground for support. So I'm going to think easy neck and shoulders and anchoring my elbows just for a little bit of balance. Lowering with control. Your hip flexors may also get a little bit involved. That's okay. Coming back up. Good. Let's go 3 more. Remember, you can always go no band. Just trying to hold your hips level. And I'm going to do an ugly one so you're not hiking your hip up or rounding excessively. You're either tiny imprint or neutral. Good. Or again, you can always do one more on your count, but I'm just going to show it. That single leg tap to one side. Good. And then let your feet find the ground one at a time to rest. So now final thing we're going to do here, just a little bit of a side hover. So you're going to come onto your elbow and you're just going to check that your elbow is just the teeniest bit past your shoulder, because if it's too far under, it's not going to feel good through the shoulder. The shoulder won't sit in a great place. So elbow just past the shoulder, knees stacked if you like. Top fist can come onto the ground for support if you need it. I'm going to show you again a few variations. And then you're going to push down through your hands, push down through your legs to lift your hips up. And if you feel good, you can reach your arm in the air. And you're just going to hang out here and hold it, and I'll let you count for yourself for about 5 breaths. Now, other choices, you can always straighten out the top leg. That's sometimes a little easier than both knees bent. Or if you are strong in this position, you can reach both legs out long. You're going to hold, push down through those feet, push down through that arm too, lift your hips up, hold. Hold. Good. To come out of it, any of the variations, put your top hand down, slowly lower your hips. And then we're just going to switch sides. Exact same move. So again, knees underneath hips, elbow just past your shoulder, top hand or fist can push into the ground. And then when you're ready, push down through your hands, push down through your legs, lift your hips up. And if you feel good, reach the arm up. Other choices, you can always straighten out that leg. Sometimes that feels better for people, or a little bit more advanced. Come onto both feet, knees off. Holding for 3 to 5 breaths, pushing down through your arms and feet, lengthening out from tail to head. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Nicely done. Place your hand down, lower your hips down to rest.